Hi, this is Conrad Zimmerman of FistShark Marketing, reminding you that you can help support our weird show with a small monthly contribution through Patreon. For less than a book of Dadaist poetry, you can Robot Avenue _ Clank Arsenic. Just visit patreon.com/FistShark or click the big Patreon button at fistshark.com for more details. And thanks for listening. I've got a meeting with Matthew Lillard next week.
That should be interesting. I've been curious as to what exactly it is he thinks he's doing. Like, I understand the mechanics of the various things he's come up with. Motivation. Now, that's something that really interests me. Do you think you could find that bit out?
Don't get me wrong, I always get encouraged when our clients want to work together. Because there's a synergy that comes about, and we can profit multiple times, often from a single set of client relationships.
Absolutely. I mean, the idea of Val Kilmer and Matthew Lillard working together it's one of those things that you look at and you think, why didn't this happen decades ago?
Right? Like, they seem to be a pair perfectly suited.
The man who was the bat and the man who was the Scream, together at last?
It's as if nobody thought about chocolate and peanut butter being in the same place at the same time. Like they were Clark Kent and Superman.
Which is weird, because Val Kilmer thinks about peanut butter 90% of the time, and his various applications for it.
Well, and Matthew Lillard's stage name in that funk band was White Chocolate.
There we go. Maybe that's why they eventually work this out. But I am glad they are working together, especially since Val Kilmer's whole circus thing, it's been flagging a bit. People didn't quite find the unique blend of comedy and bad times to be particularly engaging. But Matthew Lillard, with his youthful energy and vibrant spunk, really ought to be injecting some life into the whole procedure. We've just got to try and make his current work? Yeah, that's a word.
We could call it work, sure.
Yeah, we've just got to integrate his current work with the Kilmer Brothers circus, and then I think we've got a product.
The problem with the work, you said that people were not reacting well to the bad times.
Yeah.
Aspect of the Kilmer Brothers circus.
Yeah, well, I thought that the man who was the Shaggy would make things more fun. Like emphasize the humorous aspects with all of his wacky characters and gurning, and de-emphasize the crying of the clowns, the three-legged dogs, the birds that can't fly, all that stuff. But if anything, he's brought no humor and doubled down on people just having a bad time at the fair, really.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it seemed like a cool idea to sort of have Matthew be responsible for the more carnival end of the circus.
The man's a living carnival.
Yeah, exactly. So giving him, responsibility over designing and operating the Midway just made a lot of sense. But I'm not really sure the Hall of Faces is working out quite the way logistically we thought it would.
No, have you actually been inside Matthew Lillard's Hall of Faces?
No, I've just seen the sketches, and that alone just sort of gave me pause.
Yeah. You got off lightly. If I were you, I'd stick with the sketches, because sketches can neither blink nor accuse. They found me guilty of things that I know I didn't do, but I left believing myself guilty of.
It's just one long haul, though, right? Because I know he was thinking about pursuing a series of progressively more shameful corridors.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is it is one long corridor. There are no bends, there are no crooks, there are no dead ends or anything like that, and yet somehow you still get lost in there. I got turned around, I want to say 5 times.
Well, maybe we just need to, like, put some arrows on the floor then.
That might help. Because the longer you stay in there, that's the more children you've never had that you're paying support for.
My other concern would be creating sort of a bottleneck, you know? One of the things about these rides is that you need turnaround. You need to constantly be having people moving through and coming out the other side so you can get more people coming through. And if too many people become crippled with the overwhelming shame of deeds not done in the first place, we could have a real problem there. So I don't know if we tone it down necessarily, or I don't know, maybe we just have to install a people mover so that everyone gets sort of the same baseline experience and not rely on people to make their own way through the Hall of Faces.
I'd also, like, remove the faces that have really dried out, because those ones are just mean.
Dried out, like
desiccated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems the drier the face, the nastier the retorts.
Okay, well, we could look into that. We could look at maybe it's you just tone it down a little bit, make sure people all move through at the same rate, and that should solve a lot of the problems with the Hall of Faces.
You've got something for the meeting. How do we fix Matthew Lillard's roller skates nightmare?
That I'm really not sure about, because I don't want to say it's unsafe, because I don't think anyone's actually going to get hurt on the roller skate nightmare.
The thing about the roller skate nightmare is it's hard to injure yourself when you are that tightly packed into a small dark room.
Right.
With other people who also have roller skates on their hands and feet, like the Rippers from Return to Oz.
At worst, you might get a little bruise from a wheel brushing up against you.
Yes. I'd be worried if there were just a couple of people in there, because then you'll slip, you'll slide, you'll fall into some of the many sharp objects that he also threw in there.
You could get to swing in accidentally, lose your balance, push someone over. Yeah, that there's a risk of that. But if you're all sardined in
with him just sort of pushing more people on top of you, which... There were some injuries at first, but now the pile's so high that it's more like falling onto some moaning cushions.
How long are people going to be kept in there, though?
I ain't seen anyone leave so far.
Well, then they must be having a good time.
They must be, but again, we got to talk turnaround. That thing's pretty much at capacity now, and Lillard's not letting them go. We can't get more people to go in. Technically, it should be a hostage situation, but they did pay to go in there.
It's on them.
Yeah, legally it's fine. Financially, it's just a bit of a dead end for us.
Right.
I mean, we could open up a second roller skate nightmare and just keep building them as we need them. But that's a short-term solution, because eventually we will just run out of field. Or people who live in the area, whichever comes first, is a problem.
On the plus side, easily marketable. All we have to do is say, look how popular the roller skate nightmare was. It's so popular, we had to open a second ride.
That's true. If people see a second roller skate nightmare, they'll probably be too excited to ask about what it actually means.
We'll set up two lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put a sign at the end of the line for the roller skate nightmare 1 and say estimated wait time 12 hours. And then Roller Skate Nightmare 2, 10 minutes.
Okay.
And everyone will just go into the Roller Skate Nightmare 2 line. They'll be like, oh my gosh, what a convenience. They'll charge through like ants.
Okay. All right. I think we're really making some progress here. I think we're bringing this... I mean, we're not really fundamentally fixing any problems, but we're wallpapering over them really, really quickly, which I think is the main point of, well, I think it's our job.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's at the core of crisis management.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Matthew's Lillardon, where people pay to sit in a small tent and just stare at Matthew Lillard naked and erect for 30 minutes. That one doesn't need fixing. It's really, really good.
Yeah, if you'd like to just come in and have a seat, we can get started. We're very, very interested in hearing about what you have to offer the world and how we can help you to share it.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here.
Great. Didn't sound certain. Usually like a little more confidence, but we'll work with that. No, I'm sorry. What did you say your name was? My secretary didn't tell me.
Well, you could call me Mr. Questions, the man who answers only in questions.
Okay. That explains the uncertainty, the sense of uncertainty from earlier. It's that's your thing. That's your thing. You answer only in questions. Okay.
I answer only in questions?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a great example. Yes, of how you answer only in questions. It's interesting. So is this like a call and response audience participation show that you do, or some kind of performance art? You might make a great talk show guest. Actually, that could be a really good gimmick for the late shows.
I'm absolutely interested in guest appearances on late shows.
Boy, that makes it difficult to get a sort of definite response one way or another on anything, doesn't it?
Because I'm Mr. Questions, the man who speaks only in questions.
Right, yeah. That's the problem, I guess, in a sense. And that, like, do you turn it off? Do you ever stop, like, for business purposes? Or you're just always on, right? This is who you are.
I speak only in questions.
All right, that wasn't really a question. That was a statement.
I think you're quite mistaken, my lad, because Mr. Questions speaks only in questions.
No, that wasn't a question either.
Yes, it was. I'm quite sure of it. It was a question.
No, you're just raising the pitch of your voice at the end of a sentence to introduce like the idea of doubt, so that it sounds like you're asking a question. None of these have been questions.
I tell you what, we should do a little bit of role play, where you are Stephen Colbert interviewing Mr. Questions, the man who speaks only in questions. Then we will see just how viable an entertainment tour de force I am.
You know what? I have a really bad feeling about this. But okay, that's fine. Let's okay. So I will be Stephen. I'll be Stephen Colbert.
Or really any of the late night talk show hosts.
All right, Mr. Questions. You say that you only answer in questions.
I answer only in questions.
Okay, then I have a question for you, Mr. Questions.
By all means, ask me this question.
How are we going to pay for the wall?
I don't know if you see what I'm doing with my arm here, Conrad. I'm rotating it very, very fast. Do you know why I'm doing that, Conrad?
No, that's an odd thing to be doing.
Because I'm winding up.
Oh, you got a big pitch.
I'm winding up. I'm winding up. I'm winding up. I hit the blinds and spilled the coffee. I tell you what, I'll hang on. There we are. I'll sit down and just give you the pitch.
Yeah, that sounds... What's the idea?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to forgive me, because this is a hot one.
You seem very excited, very enthusiastic.
I'm heated up. I'm warm, because it's a hot one. How hot? Little apple pies. That's not the pitch. That's just how hot I am. Little apple pies, microwave them, and you know when you bite them and they're hot inside?
Yeah.
That's how hot it is. The idea, and subsequently me.
That sort of nuclear fission occurring on your tongue. Yeah, I'm familiar.
It is nuclear. Absolutely nuclear. Like a warhead or an explosion.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. What's the pitch?
This pitch is the Manhattan Project of pitches. That's how nuclear it is.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Tell me what it is.
You want to know what it is?
I want to know what it is.
You ready for this?
Oh, bring it.
All right. Oh, I did a little burp. Hang on. That's undermined what I was about to say. Just give me a moment. I'm just giving you time to forget what happened there. And then I'm going to hit you with it.
Okay, all right.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right, let's okay. Give me a second. I'm just going to do a jog around the room. Going to do a quick jog around the room just to get my blood going.
Yep, that's, wow, you... Ooh. You gonna make it all the way around the room? Yeah, maybe stop, have a glass of water?
Craig, get in here! Now get out! Okay. All right.
So, are we...
Give me a second, I'm out of breath. I did a lot of jumping around.
Yeah, no, you were very physical.
Ooh. Oh, I think Craig gave me a stitch.
Craig!
Gave me a stitch! Okay. Right, where were we? Pitch!
Yeah, your idea.
I got an idea for you. Catbeef.
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 Oh, okay, all right. Catbeef. Are we selling cats as an alternative meat source? Because I can see that. I mean, there's a ton of strays, and we could really, really rake in some cheap product, solve a problem in a local community, in our local communities by reducing the number of these stray cats, which, they spread disease. Like, they carry the plague.
That's true. They spread disease, and Dean Cain spreads them. A lot of them have started just clinging to him, and they fall off like bits of dead skin.
So, I could see a lot of advantages to selling cat meat in grocery stores.
Yeah, that's one way we could take it.
Oh, that wasn't the idea.
No.
Because that's a pretty good idea.
It's a good idea. We could do that. My pitch does not rule out us doing Catbeef as your suggestion. Your vision for Catbeef could very well be realised. And we could rope that into the Catbeef sort of brand,
Put it all under that umbrella. Okay, all right. Well, what was your idea? You didn't have an idea? Your entire pitch was Catbeef?
We got a lot of cats. We could serve them as meat. That was your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my idea.
Yeah. A restaurant? A restaurant for cats called Catbeef.
I am become Death Destroyer of fine dining.
Right?
Holy shit.
I just come up with that off the top of my head.
Selling cat meat, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But a restaurant for cats?
There's already a hotel for dogs.
That's true.
Why not a restaurant for cats? What is it about the systematic racism in our society that says a dog can have a hotel, but a cat can't have a restaurant called Catbeef?
That seems completely unreasonable to me. Now, this is a wrong that needs to be righted, if nothing else.
We should right the wrong. I can get us an empty restaurant. Rudfuckers closed down.
Oh, what a shame.
It is a shame, but I got the lease for the building and also all the porn they were playing, so I won't play porn for the cats. That would be unseemly. I took the porn away and secured it in a private vault where it can't bother anybody. But I've got the building. I just got to strip it out, make the table smaller, and I think we've got Catbeef. And here's a thing. How about this, right? Let me run this up your flagpole and see if the shit sticks to the fan, right? How about this? We rope in your idea. We make beef out of cats and sell Catbeef at Catbeef.
To cats.
Yeah.
As cat food.
Yeah, well, as Catbeef.
Right. So, stray cats that we have collected from local animal shelters and perhaps even we could contract with the government to handle their stray animal collection in regards to cats. That could be a juicy little sideline.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't necessarily need to take the stray cats that have a chance at adoption. Find us the one-eyed ones.
Sure.
The ones that are ugly. We'll throw them in a mincer.
You want the scrappers, really, because they're a leaner meat.
Yeah, really.
So we'll take all of those undesirable cats.
Yeah, the vagrant cats.
Produce Catbeef to sell at Catbeef, the restaurant.
Yep.
To our high-class clientele.
Yeah, we take the stray cats and we feed them to the real cats.
To the domestic cats.
Yeah, that way, the normal cats are eating a problem that they kind of caused because they're cats.
Right.
So they're cleaning up their own mess.
Well, they're DTF, and that's just the way it is.
I mean, frankly, I don't know why we're not taxing them.
We should be. There
should be a cat tax. I mean, we're already at a point where cats are being treated like people so much that they're getting their own restaurants. Why not tax them?
Well, you see, that's the problem with the welfare state.
Yep.
Like, there's no consequence for having child after child after child and then just releasing them out into the world. In fact, sometimes there's a benefit. It's tragic. It's tragic, really. We should be discouraging our domestic cats from breeding wantonly.
Well, if you can't support the kid, don't have it.
Right? Yeah, don't just put it into the system. If we can combine these two approaches to solve two problems, hungry domestic cats and starving wild cats, that seems like a fair balance.
I mean, it goes some small way toward payback to society for the free ride cats have enjoyed.
FistShark Marketing is Jim Sterling and Conrad Zimmerman. Theme music by Ben Rama. Additional music by Alazar Chand. Our editor is Austin Yorsky. Get more episodes and learn how to support the show at FistShark.com. Follow us on Twitter at FistShark for more of our exploits. Complaints can be forwarded via email to fistsharkmarketing@aol.com. And remember, take credit, assign blame. Bye.